Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about 3 cheat codes that I've learned from Kanye West that is going to catapult your life, your business, and your career. Let's get into it. Before I go ahead and announce the 3 cheat codes, I'm Prince Donnell, the founder of the Jumping Jack Tax franchise. I appreciate all 90,000 subscribers that have been locked into my YouTube page, where we talk about everything from taxes to business finance, life insurance, bookkeeping, all types of financial services that can assist you in your everyday life or your business. And if you need taxes, such as personal or business taxes, or you need life insurance, bookkeeping, tax planning, my franchise can help. Text info to 267-792-0185. Again, text info to 267-792-0185. And one of our financial representatives will be able to assist you, and it will be amazing for you to be able to support myself, my team, and our company with getting your financial services from us. With that said, let's go into these cheat codes. It's important to note, though, that if you're watching this, I don't care if you agree with Kanye West when it comes to his religious beliefs, his political beliefs, his music career, his relationships. That has nothing to do with what we're about to talk about today. We are witnessing an individual who has become a billionaire, an individual who has created one of the hottest sneaker companies in the world, an individual who is one of the greatest artists in this world. And from that, we're going to be talking about the qualities that he possesses that are clearly successful, and these qualities that we can pull from him and apply it to our lives, our businesses, and our careers so that we can increase, so that we can catapult, and that we can grow. Right, so let's just take away the Kanye perception and the opinions for a second, and just talk about the qualities that he possesses that we can take away from him. And let's jump into these 3 cheat codes, right? So how did this even happen to begin with? So originally, I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but as of today, Kanye West has been putting a lot of attention around his new album, Donnell, right? And I can't wait for it to be released. He's one of my favorite artists ever since he dropped Late Registration. And from there, I was amazed at some of the actions that he has taken thus far when it comes to the marketing around his album, the authenticity that he possesses. And it caused me to start writing out a list of things that I've been seeing over these past 2 weeks that I'm like, wow, I can take this and apply this to my business and to my life, and this thing will work. So that's where I got this list from, and I'm excited to share it with you. So number 1, you can't be great without a ridiculously high belief system. I'll say it again. You can't be great without a ridiculously high belief system. I think every single one of us who has watched Kanye West over this 10, 15, 20-year career, we all know that there's one thing we can all agree on. He truly believes in himself. So much so to the point that it makes other people uncomfortable. So much so that he put in so much effort when it came to his new album, Donda, that he rented out the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, so that he could sleep there, create his album, and he sold tickets for people to come listen to an unfinished album. I mean, this guy probably spent millions of dollars thus far on an album that hasn't even been released yet for people around the world to listen to it. Rented out the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I mean, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. So this guy has a ridiculously high belief in himself, and it shows in his work. It shows in his effort. It shows in his creativity. It shows in the projects that he releases and why they are great, right? It shows in the album. It shows in his sneaker line. And if we can just take just a fraction of that belief system that he possesses in himself, and if we can add that to our lives, our businesses, our careers, we're going to get so much further in life. And I'll leave you with this. Massive belief system is the breeding ground for success. I'll say that one more time. Write this down. Massive belief system is the breeding ground for success, right? If you have a massive amount of belief in yourself, that is the key ingredient right there that could catapult you to any place that you want to be in life, right? You have to believe in the product or service that you're selling. You have to believe in the company that you work for. You have to believe in yourself, in your abilities, right? And through that belief system, your actions will align with that, and you're going to see yourself moving forward. So many just lack belief in themselves. So many have started businesses and products and services, and they don't even believe in the product or service enough to where they are going to go out there and market it like crazy to where everybody can see it. Everybody needs to hear this. Everybody needs to buy this. Do you believe that your product or service is worth buying? Like by everybody, right? That's the level of belief you got to have. Do you believe that the company that you're going to interview for or work for, do you believe that you're the most valuable person there, right? That's the level of belief that you got to have that is going to push you into momentum, and that momentum is going to push you into success over time. So number one, you need to have a massively high level of belief in yourself, because massive belief is the breeding ground for success. Number two, authenticity is not a second job when you embrace it. I'll say it again. Authenticity is not a second job when you embrace it. We know this for certain that Kanye West is truly authentic, right? So much so, and I want you to zoom in on the camera here, Van. This is what this guy wears. This is what he was wearing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right? Like for some of us, we probably would never even think to wear something of that nature. But why? Because he's so authentic, he could care less about what anybody else around him thinks. And the issue right now is that for you watching this, it's possible that you put on this mask in order to get likes, to get comments, to get attention, in order to get friends to agree with you, for your family to agree with you and to believe in you and to invite you places. You put on this mask and stop from being the most authentic piece of you because you want to lean in on people agreeing with you. In doing that, you're now going to be unhappy with yourself because you know for a fact that that's not who you truly are inside. Kanye West is authentic with himself to the point where it makes people uncomfortable, to where they talk about him. But guess what? When you are authentic with yourself, you have to accept the fact that people are going to disrespect you, they're going to dislike you, and they're going to try to discredit you. And most of the times it's because they don't have a level of belief in themselves and they're fake. So you can't allow the opinions of other people to stop you from being authentic, right? Some of you right now watching this video are so artistic. You're the most artistic person, the most creative person, but you won't even get your artistry out, your creativity out there in the world, and your ideas out there because of the fact that you're afraid that people are going to judge you. They're going to call you weird, right? They're going to call you, you're not like everybody else. Who cares if you're not like everybody else? You don't have to be. Right? You can be you can be authentic and create your own lane for yourself. And guess what? A lot of people are going to hate you for it, but there's going to be a small group of people that are going to love you for it. And in the midst of social media right now, where you have so many negative comments, I am encouraging you to lean in on the people that actually love you, for being authentic, for being true to self, for embracing your creativity and your authenticity, right? And Kanye West walks with authenticity. He walks with authenticity, and that's part of the reason why he's so great at what he does as an artist, right? As a creator. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. Number 3, vigorous effort will always go down in history. I'll say that again. Vigorous effort will always go down in history. This is probably the most important quality that I've learned from Kanye. And this is one that you're going to need the most, because there's this common theme that's going on right now where people do the bare minimum in their job, the bare minimum in their business, and a bare minimum in their life, and they're expecting a higher result from that bare minimum effort, and it just would never happen. You're never going to get far with the bare minimum, because how you do anything is how you do everything. There's not a light switch that you can just cut on and off to where I'm going to do bare minimum here, but then I'm going to do the extreme over here. It just doesn't work that way. Your mind isn't wired that way. Your brain is not wired that way. Your actions and your habits are not wired that way. You have to do everything with a vigorous amount of effort, because it'll go down in history, right? And one of the things I've learned is that the average person will only put in effort if they expect to receive something in return. So basically, they'll only put in effort to match the return. And that's backwards thinking. So the only way I'm going to actually put in a high amount of effort if I get a high return. But then if I get a lower return, I'm only going to put my effort at that lower amount of return. It's backwards thinking. Why? Because to me, vigorous effort is an investment. And if we were to look at this like an investment, then we know that investments grow over time, that we contribute money to our brokerage account. And we know that if we just consistently over 10 to 20 years hold, that over time, we're going to see the fruits of our labors. That's what vigorous effort is. So if we were to look at Kanye, for an example, over the past 20 years from his first album all the way up until now, he has put in a vigorous amount of effort to where he wasn't even receiving a high amount of return for that effort. And let's just take Kanye out of this for an example. There's others that we aspire to be like sports players who put in a vigorous amount of effort and have not seen a return for years. But guess what? As Kanye was as he was putting in that vigorous effort, the results were building up in the background. He may not have been able to cash that check yet, but it was building in the background over 5 years. It was building in the background over 10 years, to where finally now he was able to cash out off of all of the effort that he put in, and now he's seeing the fruits of his labor. You're never going to see the fruits of your labor because of the fact that you match your vigorous efforts to the results that you have today and not the results that you're going to see in 10 years. And that is what's going to stop you from being your best self and seeing the fruits of your labor, short-term thinking. And I'm just encouraging you that if you take this quality and apply some long-term thinking to that and say, I'm going to put in a max amount of effort. How I do anything is how I do everything. I may not have the right body today, but I'm still going to put in a maximum amount of effort, even though my body is not the way I want it to be, because I know what it's going to be in 10 years with the effort that I put today. I know that within my career, I may not be where I want to be as of right now, but I'm still going to put in a vigorous amount of effort through the learning, through growing, through applying this information, because I know I'm going to see the fruits of my labor, if not here, somewhere else where somebody's going to appreciate it. I know in my business, I may not see the revenues that are coming in as of yet, but I'm still going to put in a vigorous amount of effort as if the company was already $1 million, although it's only making $10. That is the level of effort that you have to put in now. You have to apply it to yourself now. You have to do anything how you do everything now so that you can reap the rewards later. Vigorous effort creates history. So with that being said, let's recap the 3 cheat codes that I've learned from Kanye West to help catapult your life, your career, or your business. Number 1, you can't be great without a ridiculously high belief system. Number 2, authenticity is not a second job if you embrace it. And number 3, vigorous effort will make history over time. And if you apply these 3 cheat codes to your life today and do it for the next 10 to 15 years, you apply these basics, these same basics that Kanye West has applied over the course of his 20-year, 30-year career, you are going to see a level of success for yourself as well. It ain't going to be Kanye's success. It's going to be your success. And with that said, I want you to share this video with a friend, right? Share these cheat codes, right? And I need you to apply these. I want you to write these down. I want you to put them on your refrigerator. I want you to put it in on your mirror when you wake up in the morning. Put them in your car, because I want these to serve as affirmations where everywhere you go, you're repeating these to yourself so that you can put it into your brain, so that it can burn into your brain, so you know exactly what you need to do in order to achieve a level of success for you. And with that said, I'm Prince Donnell, founder of Jumping Jack Tax. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube page. Watch previous videos that I have, again, on business, finance, and on life, and just pulling qualities about yourself so you can be great. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.